What should you look for in a fractional CMO if you're considering one for your company? Number one, experience with large brands, large companies, preferably in your industry. Because look, if somebody has only worked with small businesses before, they're not going to understand even if you're a small business and you're trying to grow to be a medium-sized business or a very large business, maybe even getting venture capital funding, going through Series A, B, etc. If you aren't working with somebody who has marketed at that level, they can't help you because they have no idea what that looks like in a marketing context. So you have to work with somebody who understands where you're at, but also where you're going or where you want to be. Like I know in my case, I work with mostly small businesses, but I have worked with the largest businesses in the world. I've worked with Dell, Microsoft, Kohler Corporation, BindView. I've worked with Cisco, HP. Point being, I've worked with the very largest companies. I know how they operate, and so I can help companies grow into that level. And I even have marketed at that level, even with companies like Yelp. The next thing would be agency experience, because the thing is, ultimately, you're probably going to have agencies involved. I mean, rarely you won't have agencies involved. You'll have in-house staff, but usually there's going to be agencies involved. And it helps for the fractional CMO you're working with to speak their language, because you have to understand agency life, how they think, how they operate, what their constraints are, and also all the point tools and all of the methodologies that, quite frankly, are very skilled in the agency world. You learn a set of skills that are applicable and are helpful, but you need to have somebody who understands that, even if they're kind of bringing it in-house for you and or interfacing with those agencies that are still working with you. I would say that people skills are important. It's important for them to be a team player, to understand there's a team involved, and to be able to, I think, be a bridge between sales and marketing. Especially, there tends to be traditionally a very large divide, a chasm between sales and marketing, and that hurts a lot of companies. So if you have somebody that can reach across the aisle, so to speak, and work with the sales team and have everybody's best interest in mind, and certainly the company's best interest in mind, that's a good positive thing. I think organizational skills are key. They have to be somebody who's organized and who can see the big picture, but also manage the minutia and the details. The last one I'm going to say is, these days, is skilled with AI. You have to have a fractional CMO that understands AI and can employ them in a leveraged way for your business. Because, I mean, honestly, it's like, yeah, I've typed on ChatGPT a few times. It's a lot different than I've built Claude skills. I understand how to do agentic AI using Claude Cowork. I've used Replit and Lovable to build out websites. I know all these things, there's levels to it. I have one more, which is a little harder to describe, but it's like the go get 'em attitude, or we're gonna make this happen. It's kind of like GSD, get S done. Somebody who's gonna be willing to jump into the mess that you clearly have or will have and make things work, find solutions, be solutions oriented. They have to be somebody who doesn't just say, this isn't my lane, I can't help you with this, out of my wheelhouse. It has to be somebody who's willing to find a way, find a solution, because ultimately in business, that's what's gonna get it done. That's the most important skill set.